my channel, Hannah Ruth Tea, talking everything about tea, though I haven't done it for a while and I apologise. Tea's just not been a priority for me right now, but I have had to, I've made some decisions, lifestyle choices at the moment, which includes giving up alcohol and trying to reduce my coffee intake, and therefore I have been able to kind of put a focus back onto, well, what drinks do I enjoy? Obviously tea is one of them, and yeah, I've decided to come back to a dear love of tea in a slightly new location compared to my last few videos. I now have an office for my day job, which is very exciting. I will hopefully link things somewhere, but I will put a link in the description box to my sort of main life channel, which will kind of hopefully explain kind of what I'm up to and why I now have an office, which is very exciting. But one of the most exciting things is that I now have a tea display unit. It was meant to be for books, and I got it for £5 from a kind of antique home clearance shop that's around the corner from my parents. I like going in there, though I'm always like, oh, I really like that piece of furniture, but I don't really need it and I don't really have space for it. I now do need things because I need shelving for, I have quite a few books and things that I want to store and display. And this one was very pretty. It was £5. It's missing two kind of glass doors, I'm guessing what was on it, but I very much like it open, and it's now, yeah, my tea display unit, which is very lovely because it means I can start getting tea out. And therefore I thought I really should revive the blog and the YouTube channel and my social media for tea stuff, so that is what I am doing, which actually fills me with a lot of joy. So I thought, to celebrate coming back, I would do the tea that was very exciting, a very exciting purchase, and then a very exciting gift, which was a little bit awkward, but it was fine. And it is the organic Darjeeling tea from Fortnum and Mason's, their Coronation special. I'm not gonna lie, partly bought it for the tin because it's pink and flowery, and then obviously the Fortnum's top, it just looks absolutely gorgeous, and I was like, I want it. Also, Darjeeling's like one of my favourites, so I was like, double want it. So when I went up to London, when did I do it? I was up there on my own. Can't remember why, but I literally took a massive detour in my route to go to Fortnum's to buy this, and it just made me very happy. It's just very pretty. Oh, that's cool. It says packed date. Anyway, so I had this one. Eagle eyes amongst you can see that there is one as well, right behind my shoulder. So I bought one, and then my mother-in-law, they're on holiday, and they go to Heathrow Airport, and Fortnum's has it's not a cafe, they have like a diner space, it's very cool. And the last few times I've been to Heathrow and wanted to go, it was too early because they hadn't opened yet. Anyway, they'd gone, and she brought me one back as well. I didn't have the heart to tell her I already had one, but actually it was very exciting to have two. So I have two, which, yay. So that makes me happy. So yeah, so I thought I really want to open it because I have now tapped out all of like the sample bags or the smaller bags, stuff that I've got. And I do just want this, I just want to try this stuff, and I thought, let's film it. It's also on brand with my kind of pink vibe that I'm going for at the moment, inspired by the Barbie film and just my general love of pink. So yeah, it feels very on brand for me, and it just makes me happy. So yeah, so let's try it. It does have a very nice, secure plastic bag. Make sure we chuck that away properly. So I've not opened either tins at all, so yeah, let's see. Oh, twisty top. Oh, look at it, beautiful, beautiful tea. Oh, I've missed you, sweet friend. Just that, it's not malty, but that kind of just the tea smell, sort of musky But because it's a Darjeeling, it's got that kind of lightness, and they always say Darjeeling's the champagne of teas, and it's not that it's champagne, but that kind of just, and it's not bubbles, because how would tea have bubbles? But oh, that smells good. I was so close to just turning it over to look upside down. Glad I put the lid back on. That would have been quite traumatic. So it doesn't, there was no cards that came with it. There was, I don't think so. And to be honest, I forgot to look on the website. But to brew, ingredients, tea. To brew, heat freshly drawn water to 100 degrees. Use 1 heat teaspoon per person and brew for 3 to 5 minutes. Serve with or without milk. Store in cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Probably not the best place to put it there because the sun does set over there. Anyway, so it doesn't really say much about the tea. Oh, it does on the back. Organic Darjeeling tea, hailing from the misty Himalayan foothills, the historic home of the rare imperial egret which decorates this caddy. Darjeeling is known as the champagne of teas for its elegant complexity and muscatel character. Exceptional with or without milk, this second flush makes a delicious cup of tea. That's the egrets, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's, again, all of my tea stuff is in storage at the moment, so I have no glassware to be able to do my normal kind of showing clarity and stuff. Plus also the kettle I'm using is not great, or well, it's not the kettle, the water. If I need to get a filter, or I need to bring some filtered water and use my, that's underneath the unit. I've got a kettle that I bought. I think I shared it in my last video. I bought a kettle. I've not used it because I know the water's not been right, and I've not wanted to kind of damage the integrity of the kettle, wrong words, but like I didn't want to end up putting anything into it that would end up leaving something. So with the water I've got's not great. I can't show it to you, so it's gonna be a bit awkward, but we'll make it work, hopefully. Actually, if I do it with that cup. So I have to do it on my lap using, I'm gonna just call this the jam spoon. Funny story, tell you another time, but I will use the jam spoon to do it. Actually, right, so leaf wise it's you know, mostly darker leaves, but there are some lighter kind of flecks in it. Mixed size, obviously not massive. I suppose as well because it's been in a caddy, it's hitting things and everything, there's quite a lot of kind of irregularity in size, but I would say that is not entirely because of the tea. That is probably because of storage and everything, and because I keep shaking them. But yeah, it's sort of pretty tea in that it has different, it's not a range of colours, but it has some sort of tonal, some lighter bits, some sort of more orangey, brown bits, and then obviously sort of majority of the kind of darker, nearly black leaves. So I'm going to put like, what's this? It's bigger than a tablespoon. It's kind of a small serving spoon. I'm gonna get a little bit less. I'll put it in there. So sad times, what was British Home Stores, I think yes, puppy. British Home Stores teapot that I used, the tall glass one, and it had like this strainer inside it, and it was a good size, but also the fact that the tea has a lot of space to move. So even though it's within the basket, it had a lot of room to move within the teapot, whereas the IKEA one I've got, the basket's very small, which means the tea doesn't have a lot of room to move, which means that either it takes a while for it to brew, or it's just quite bitter because it's not moving properly. It's just a bit annoying. Pardon me. So anyway, I love this tea. I love this teapot. However, I had a bit of a traumatic. It was in a plastic bag because I had some other stuff, and I kind of thought it was fine. And then I walked in, and it hit it on the kind of the boot box shelf thing that we've got, shoe box. I heard this kind of glass smash like this. I was like, nah, I'll be all right. No, it wasn't. And I don't think I've thrown it away yet. I think it's in the kitchen in a bag, kind of hidden behind the fridge or next to the fridge. I'm too upset to throw it away because it was such a good teapot, and I got it again when the Rich Home stores was shutting down. And I think I got 2 for like a £5. It's something ridiculously cheap for how much I've used the teapots. So yeah, I ended up going back to the same antique furniture place. Today, bought 2 teapots for £5 for each. They're not like brilliant, and they're not entirely what I want for videos and stuff, because I really like the glass, because seeing it was quite helpful. But just in terms of everyday drinking, hoping those teapots will be okay. But right, anyway, so it's in the basket, and therefore I don't have a pot, don't have glass, so we're going to do it in this basket cup. Again, I think I talked about it in the last video from my grandparents, but I've also been in, because I've only got the basket, I'm having to kind of pour directly into the cup and then take the basket out quite quickly. But I've been enjoying the kind of, I think it's more the Chinese way of brewing, of short but many infusions, and that's been actually quite nice, especially because I'm not having tea with milk, and it's just a way to have a kind of lighter tea. So I am going to continue in that lighter expression of infusion, because yeah, and then using as well, just to save me every time I want to make, like, literally, hang on, so many things, this cup, right, like, just essentially I want to make a pot, so I'd put it in this and then do the quick infusions. So that's fine. So oh, and this is Corksicle. I've had these bottles for, it was the year of masters, so we're talking 2016, 2017. I've got this one, and then I've got the smaller pink one. I love this so much, and I would honestly love to do a deal with them, but they are very good for hot and cool, and it's got the kind of rubber bottom. It just looks really pretty. I love it. I love it. It was one of the best finds at IKEA. Anyway, let's pour it in. This is very precarious doing it on my knees. So the trouble is, this teapot is not great, so the water is a bit scummy, sounds harsh, but it's not sort of pure. Miss the water in Plymouth. But it is a very hot, hang on, let's lift it up here. It is a very, you can't see it entirely, do some B-roll. It's a lovely bright orange, sort of amber, honey, they're all different colours. A very lovely honey colour, like a kind of runny honey. It's got that, oh, that muscatel. Oh goodness, that's beautiful. Lovely muscatel scent. That's the word. Gosh, I've not done these sorts of videos for a while. And a kind of sweetness as well. Reminds me of, can't think of it. I think again it was an Indian tea, or it might have been Chinese, but definitely a sort of darker blend. But just that kind of, oh no, it was a salon I had, can't think when or where from, but that was gorgeous as well. Anyway, this is gorgeous, smells, it's gonna be very hot. I should have kept the caddy open for a bit to let it, not caddy, the water bottle. But it says 100-degree water. So, I mean, for a Darjeeling, we'd I'd suggest letting it cool for a bit. I mean, it's very hot. I need to give it another minute or two to cool down slightly, but that is very lovely. Probably lighter than made in 10, because I've brewed it for 10 seconds rather than the kind of 3 minutes. So I'll probably do another one of slightly longer infusion. Think about maybe putting some milk in, but that is actually very sort of it's got a nice sort of hint of sweetness to it without being too actually sweet. Again, that bit of kind of nuttiness, almost like hazel, like sweetness of hazel notes to it, which is very tasty. Yeah, I think what I need to do, and maybe we'll do it for another video, yay! I'll continue drinking the short infusions, and then I might do another one of doing the full 3-minute infusion. See, but honestly, that is very tasty. I do very much like that. Easy, I can see it as being an easy drinking tea. You know, I'm sitting at my desk for a lot of the day, and the lapsang that I've just nearly finished the bag of, which is weird to be drinking lapsang at the end of July, early August, but actually with it being so cold lately, I've not minded. But that feels kind of, it's not a specialty as such, but I like giving attention to lapsang. Weird, I know. Whereas I could see this as being an easy kind of everyday drinking tea, but also actually very nice if you're wanting to do something special. I actually think this would do really nice with some shortbread or something. I think the kind of notes of sweetness, but so I accidentally kind of ended up making a bit of slightly salted shortbread, which I really love, sweet and salt kind of stuff. And I think this would go really nicely in the sense that it has got notes of sweetness, so it's not competing of something savoury. Again, I think a lapsang works really nicely with something kind of caramelly and kind of quite sweet, whereas this could go quite nicely with something that's not as sweet, because it is itself sort of a balance of elements of sweet, if that's getting tongue-tied in sweet and salt. But yes, ooh. Still so hot. That is tasty. That is gonna be my new favourite tea. Not because it's tasty. It's such a pretty tin. It's just so pretty, and it is quite nice that it's not just a pretty tin. It's a special occasion. There is something incredibly patriotic and sentimental for us that it is His Majesty's coronation tin. I mean, it's not his coronation tin. It's the tin to commemorate the coronation. But anyway. That is very nice. I very much like that. I'm going to carry on drinking this, and I will see you soon. Hopefully not too long. I am hoping to get back into tea blogging, but it would be wonderful if you have liked this video, or if you've seen any of my other videos, please do like and subscribe, and please do connect with me on social media on various platforms. I will link them all here and in the description box. But please do come back soon for more tea tasting and tea chatter and everything to do with tea. Bye.